North Stoke Church. It's winter and it's very cold, but it's such a nice place to come to do these videos, so here we are. I've come today to talk about the new Chieftain V4 whistle, which is this one. We have the old V3 here. The main differences that you may notice, if I can get them close enough, is the shape of the mouthpiece. You can see that the old V3 is far more squared. This one is far more rounded, a bit like a bishop's hat. The other difference is that the holes are more scalloped. Now, on all of the whistles that we've produced, we do soften the holes so there's no catchy bits. But on the new V4, I've actually scalloped them, so that means taking some of the metal off, and it gives you a very, very played-in feel. So it's as if you've had it for 20 years and you've just been playing it every day. So your fingers fall into the holes and it feels very natural, almost wood-like. The other main difference between the two is I've restricted the windway somewhat to give you a better back pressure without losing any of the volume. This has also created a very interesting aspect to the whistle, which gives it a much more volume balanced high-low register. Rather than on most other low Ds, they're very nice and beautiful and fat and rich in the lower register, but as you start to go up into the upper register, they start to squawk a bit and they get very loud, and even the top whistles and the most expensive whistles, I find some of them are unusable because they are so loud, especially if you're playing in a flat or in a house and you've got children or elderly relatives. You just can't play these whistles, so you have to sort of only play them when nobody's around, whereas this, you can actually play it without upsetting anybody, which is, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't live in their vast mansions and have plenty of room to go and play. A lot of people are restricted. I myself have children, so I like to play in the evening and I don't want to wake them up. So this whistle is absolutely ideal if you're living in a confined space with people around you. You can actually use the upper register quite nicely without it being piercing and breaking glass. So I'll give you a little demonstration. Now, I particularly chose that tune, which is something I put together last year called A Jewish Lament, to show the ability of this whistle so that you can actually use half-holing notes very effectively. This scalloping thing, it's almost giving you extra notes. It really feels easy to do this, and I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble getting half-hole, especially on some whistles where they're not really designed for half-holing, and if you want to play a tune with a few half-hole notes, it's almost impossible because the note just splits or it just doesn't appear at all. So we do have the holes. They're quite large, but for most hands, once you get used to it, you can really just kind of, it does feel a bit more organic than most of the other whistles that I've made. So this is the Chieftain V4. They're available in tunable and fixed, and I think this is the way forward. Well, I'd like to give you a little demonstration of some other Lodies in comparison to the new Chieftain V4. And I was saying in a previous video that these whistles can be very shrill and also sometimes uncontrollable. I'm not saying they're bad whistles, they are what they are. This is, I think, a Reviol. It's a handmade wood headpiece on a brass body. It's a lovely whistle, but it's not the sort of whistle that I would want to be playing late at night in the lounge. Lovely rich bell note. It's very bright. And there's a certain frequency there that really is quite piercing. I'm not sure if it's coming across, but in here it's... Lovely whistle for being away from people if you're playing by yourself, but it's got some volume which in some ways is uncontrollable. I try and play it kind of softly. See, if I underblow it slightly, it's gone. So it's really a kind of a one tone, a bit similar to this this other whistle I have here, which is an MK, very, very powerfully loud. But again, if you try and underblow it, again, it drops off. If you're looking for that sweetness but softness, it's just not there. And also I noticed with this, the bell note, if you try and push it a little bit, it's gone, just leaps up into the upper register. So you have to lean back on it, or as Chief Wang in Nui would say, you have to nurse it. And if you like that really throaty sound, it's kind of like a one-toned whistle. It's just hard, in your face. Not only would this wake up your kids, but it would wake up the neighbours' kids as well. So going back to the V4, now I'm hardly putting any air into that at all. It's the same kind of pressure I would put in the lower register. Now I'm underblowing, seriously. There's no increase in pressure going across that octave. It's like cream, it just flows beautifully, and you can really underblow it. Or play it loud. But the beauty of this is it's absolutely effortless. If you don't have a huge amount of puff, and I know there are a lot of people that play high Ds, they like a very, very, very light air requirement. This is the perfect whistle for you. So compared to most other low D whistles, if you're looking for something that you can sit at home and play late at night when everyone's gone to bed, or get up on a stage and give it yaldi, the new Chieftain V4 is for you.